Hey, Nick here, bringing you the Amor 2026 recap video. We had another excellent trip this year, and we were a smaller group of 14 people, which worked out great since the land we were building on was pretty small. But if you ever wondered what a house building trip to Mexico looks like, well, this is the closest you're going to get without packing your own bag. So now the trip starts before we even head to the airport. We had to pack everything. Hey, I just thought I'd run you through some of the gear we got to bring for the missions trip. This is not exactly everything in the list. This is kind of a little bit extra on top of the normal stuff, but I'll show you kind of what I bring. All right, so in no particular order. A lot of Mexico is all camping, so we pretty much just got to go minimal. And so I just have a lot of my camp gear out just to prep for getting down on the trip there. But that there is my cot. I got the floor for my tent. That's a tarp I'm going to use, sleeping pad. That's my chair, sleeping bag, tent, and then stakes. And then these stakes are like crazy, really big nails because the soil in Mexico is rough. It's not soft, so gotta bring all that just to actually stake stuff into the ground. Got a camp towel, little pillow here, and then some wipes, obviously, because that just makes life really nice when you're down there. We're pretty remote when we're down there, so that's what we're gonna need for some of that. And over here is the other stuff. So I got clean clothes. These are work items, so that's my work clothes. This is just my work boots, gloves, you can see all that. I got my harness stuff here, just a day pack. For the campsite, it's nice to have this, but I have a battery bank, and then that's a solar panel to charge off of. It's kind of hard to get electricity where we're at. There's like 10 outlets in the whole facility, so it's actually nice just to have our own power source and then a way to charge it during the day. That's been really clutch. That's new to me. I'm gonna try out this little camp fan thing, see if that helps keep me cool in the evenings. It can get pretty warm down there as well. Just got some toiletries. Showers are all solar, so that's just a big plastic bag basically. We'll just fill those with water, and then we'll let them sit during the day, and then when we're done for the day, we'll come and take showers with those. They just gravity feed, and there's just these stone showers that we use for those. Liquid IVs to stay hydrated while we're at the campsite, or sorry, worksite and campsite actually. Just headlamp for walking around the campsite at night. There's no lights again, and then just some hats. So all that's got to go. And these bad boys, a couple totes, and then I just bring a whole bunch of cordage just in case. I actually needed it last year because the tent I was in, it ended up collapsing because the wind broke like the top piece, and I had to take some of the cord I had and just lash it just so it would actually stay up so I could sleep in it at night. So it's come in handy, and you just never know. We can also use it for like laundry lines and things like that to hang stuff, so you might see that in some of the other footage, but that's essentially what I bring. Once we got packed, we took that over to Joe so he could take it all in a trailer and drive it to Mexico from Denver. He left Saturday before everyone else with trailers full of tools and gear and a couple of friends. Then the rest of the team left on Sunday. Early. Very early. We landed in San Diego, grabbed the rental van, headed for breakfast. Since we had a little bit of extra time before we had to meet up with Joe and the trailers, we decided to visit a lighthouse at Point Loma.
I saw it all.
After leaving the lighthouse, we met with Joe at our usual luxury supply spot before meeting Amor. Now, if you didn't know, Amor is the ministry that we partner with to build homes in Mexico, and their mission is to keep families together, and they've been doing this since 1980. That distinguished gentleman in the Amor shirt is Maciel. He's our guide for the week. He's an incredible person. He's warm, he's loving, he's very compassionate. We love to have him on our trips. So, after we got our debriefing, we get back in the vehicles and we followed Maciel as he led us through the border. We went through customs while the vehicles all got inspected. Once everything cleared, we continued into Tijuana and headed to camp. After arriving at camp, we began setting up. Alright, just finished setting up Little Tent City. This one's mine. I went way overcomplicated, but whatever. After camp was set up, I needed a bit of water and I thought I'd take a little walk around the camp. Let's see, I'm just taking a walk over the kitchen to go get some water, see what's new over here. This is new. Typically we get lunch and dinner, or breakfast and dinner here. Yeah, they've been doing some work over here, that's cool. Oh, how nice. So part of setting up camp for the next day was getting showers ready. Just thought I'd come over and fill up my shower bag for tomorrow. So I'm at the shower tank. Just filled up my solar shower, so I'm gonna go over and lay this out in the sun, and it'll heat up for really tomorrow. I won't need it tonight. I'll show you that here. I just lay out a nice little tarp. Put the shower bags on. Nice and toasty. Perfect. Once all the camp setup is done, it was dinner time. We gathered afterwards for a bit of fellowship and talked about what to expect on the first day. So day 1, Monday. This is the first day of the building, and it started bright and early at 6 a.m. After crawling out of the tent and getting dressed for the day, we went to make ourselves a sack lunch. Alright, so every morning we always gotta make some for lunch. So I'm making myself peanut butter jelly. And make yourself a really hot ham sandwich if you want. Or one of both. You get a little bit of everything. Then we headed over to the kitchen for breakfast. After breakfast, we packed up our tools and prepared to head to the site. After arriving at the site, we were able to see the neighborhood and what we were working with. So since we had a smaller team, it was decided to have a more pour concrete foundation prior to us coming. This gave us more time to focus on the rest of the building.
Many of us will probably be just trying to grab lumber right now at first until we
want to move these.
That's the lumber for the roof, so we're going to be using that right away.
Once we had a game plan of how the building would go, we got to work cutting 2x4s to build the roof first. In the past, we had more room to cut and build away from the foundation, but since we were really limited on space this year, we built directly on the slab. So we got original home, and then this is going to be all addition. You do have to work with power. That's an extension cord coming off the main line, and that's just cabling. But that'll be interesting because I'm probably going to be the guy on the roof. I have to go up there. I'm probably only have about 3 or 4 feet above that. So after the roof was built, we stacked the pieces against the original house so we could start building the walls.
Which is kind of a blessing how these are built.
While the walls were built, just outside there was a group working to prepare the tar paper that goes onto the walls later. Once the walls were built, the baling wire went on. The wire was used as a base that the tar paper laid against when the walls went up. After lunch, the building continued into the hot afternoon after losing the shade we had in the morning.
Together. So the bigger side they put together. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. 22 and a half come together. Okay. And this is the corner. This is for the corner. What's the day's been like?
How's it been, Doc?
So the day has been hot but awesome. We have all but 4 walls yet to build. They're baling wiring, and it's warm. David is. We're evaluating if we should be bringing David next time or not, but we probably shouldn't. But no, everything is going well. Everybody's working hard. We should be able to get all the walls built and upright and erected today for day 1. That's the goal, and for him to leave.
We're gonna fire the volunteers for the first time.
Now you.
Universal sound for hold music. We finally put the walls up and positioned the roof. Placed the roof sections where they needed to go, stopped for the day, and headed back to camp. After dinner, we lit a fire and fellowshipped as the sun went down. Day 2. So day 2 started like every other day. Woke up early, made lunch, and had breakfast. When we were getting ready to leave, we decided to leave Joe's truck at camp, and we packed all the tools onto my sails instead.
Yeah, I hate myself. Please move. Oh, I got you in a picture.
That's the way we load in a tool truck today. Literally everything in the back of a Tacoma. We're not taking Joe's truck for reasons. So this is it. This also meant everyone else had to squeeze into the van as well. Tuna's in a can. We're all just squeezed in here today.
We're hiding you from the police.
We got to the job site and were greeted by the local vendors. He'll be back. The first order of business for the morning was to secure the roof from the prior day. After the roof was secured, a few others and I got onto the roof and started attaching the roof panels, tar paper, and shingles. While we were up on that roof, others were busy below adding the tar paper to the walls. Hi Marcel. Quick video update. It's about 11 o'clock and me and 3 other guys got the roof done. So this is probably seen the time lapse, but there was sheets that went underneath this. Plywood obviously is the base, and then this is actually like a asphalt shingle roll that gets rolled out. So this year thankfully it's white, and then there's just some nails with some tar, those little black spots there. We're all done. Just enjoying the view and the sunshine. Little view of Tijuana. We'll get off this roof when we get a ladder back in a minute.
This is our ride.
After finishing the roof, I took a little walk around to see what was going on. Oh yeah. All right. Since I didn't see any of this since we were on the roof, let's see what's been done. It's like all the tar paper got put up. Hey, is this Starbucks?
No.
You might drive through? No. Nice.
We can't go anywhere. We can't go.
Oh.
That's probably what he's doing. Probably setting everything.
Next was the chicken wire. The stucco would hold on to this once it was applied to the house. Then we gathered inside the house for lunch.
What'd you do?
Afterwards, we applied the first layer of stucco to the house. Once that was finished, we ended the day and headed back to camp. Hey, just thought I'd do a little quick video update. This is full day 2 here in Tijuana, and finished the roof, finished the walls, got all the tar paper and the stucco and all that stuff on one coat. So it's a total structure, and we were done by 3 o'clock this afternoon, like super early, like cleaning the whole thing. Yeah, everything went really well. The roof was quick. It was great. We had me and 3 other guys up there. You've probably seen some of the footage too. Everything just went really well up there, and then once we got back down, it seemed like everything around the walls went really smooth. Had lunch, and then about an hour and a half or so, 2 hours. We got the coat of stucco on and just all went really well. So, which is rare. We actually get back to the camp early, enough to kind of just chill, just relax. Most of the time we get back and we immediately have to kind of get a little cleaned up, go to dinner because it's, you know, they are on a time here for that. And then with whatever daylight's left, we got to go shower. So it can come kind of quick. But great day. Been nice. We had a few tents that blew over. I didn't fortunately get a chance to film any of that. But what typically happens during the daytime here when we're gone is the winds come through here really, really strong. And so a lot of the tents, see behind me, they're up right now, but they just will get completely blown over and they will collapse. So they have to come back and do a lot of repairs usually, or that's what we had to do today. We actually had to tape some tents together. We had to just kind of hop them together just so they'd stay up. So environment's pretty harsh, obviously, but everyone's still in good spirits, you know, and we just helped each other out, figured it out, and it's been good. It's been a good day. So tomorrow will be the last build day to get a final coat of stucco. We probably won't spend all day there. We'll probably be done around lunchtime is what it looks like. After dinner, Masael wanted to speak with us and shared a little message.
Hagan lo que hagan, trabajen de buena gana, como para el Señor y no para nadie en este mundo.
After waking up to a hazy morning, we headed back out to finish the house. Well, we just got to the site for the day. This is what the stucco looks like after it dries overnight on one coat. Pretty close. We're gonna basically fill that into where the wire's not there anymore and then smooth it out. But it came out looking pretty good. Everybody's just hauling tools out. We stored everything inside last night, so it's getting started for the day. Right, Steve?
Right.
Just getting started?
Yeah.
We put the final coat of stucco on the house and sponged it down so it had a finished texture.
No, what you can do is go grab a rake, and then you can help move these, and I will rake those.
Will you? It's all going on.
Okay? Okay. You.
So that's something.
Again. Finale. You get a few things.
This is for the family. Gracias.
Since it was the last day at the site, a few things were bought from the vendors and a little gift basket was made for the family.
Okay, and then that's perfect. We can put that in there. Gracias. Thank you.
Vamos a tomarles una foto aquí enfrente con la puerta cerrada para meterlo al programa.
Venga.
At this point, we'd finished. The last thing to do was to dedicate the house and give it to the family. We took a couple photos to commemorate the moment, said goodbye to the family, head back to the camp. Be back, Doc.
We did it. Another one down. Another one down.
Oh, we got done a little early today, which is good actually. It's really, really nice to be done by like 11. There was a little dedication we do for the family, and give them the house, bless them, gave them a few gifts, prayed over them, and just said our goodbyes. So another one down. Another very successful year. Saw that how kind of tight that was for a house spot, but honestly, it wasn't too bad. It was, God gave us just enough people to be on this trip, not too many, because if there was any more people in that area, it would have been honestly a bit tight. So I think it was definitely providential. God only gave us a few to come out this year, and in the house we got. So good year, very good year. All right, last video update. It's end of the day. It's sunset. It's actually really pretty sunset. It's about 7:30. The other churches showed up for the week. They're a big church youth group, I think, from Seattle. Met some of them at dinner, but they just came in for the night. Bunch of kids. So I think they were here last year too. But yeah, so good to see. Yeah, we got back so early. We just been resting and napping for a good part of the afternoon. It was really hot in the afternoon, so there wasn't a whole lot to do in the heat of the sun. But yeah, just enjoying the last night. Probably start a fire here soon, and head out back to the border tomorrow. The final day was a travel day back to the States. We got up very early, tore down camp so we could get to the border crossing before it got busy.
And I was on Seaforth Valley. I had to pull off at Quincy, and then I made it to the roundabout that they made there, and then made it up to the neighborhood and pulled over, just coasting all the way.
After getting across the border, those in the van spent a little bit of time in San Diego before heading to the airport and back home. Joe and the trucks left straight for home. Now, there were a few things that didn't get filmed, but I feel like should be mentioned. Joe's truck, not long after leaving Denver, had a mechanical issue again. Thankfully, that was actually fixed fairly easily, and that didn't delay our travel too bad. At one point, Fred, Joe's father-in-law, had a couple nails go through his shoe, which also, thankfully, none of those went through his foot. There was a hiccup with a birth date on a flight out, which caused someone to almost miss their flight to San Diego. Didn't happen, thankfully. And on the way back home, we had to sit on the tarmac waiting for an hour because of bad weather back home. So every trip's an adventure, and even though they're similar, they all have their unique challenges and stories that come out of them. You know, as Messiah mentioned in his message to our group, Colossians 3:17 says, "And whatever you do or say, do it as a representative of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks through him to God the Father." And Colossians 3:23 adds, "Whatever you do, work heartily, as for the Lord and not for men." It's easy to take our way of life in the U.S. for granted. The homes these families live in are usually made from scraps, old doors, plywood, banners, whatever they can find. Running water from the city isn't common either. This family did, however, have access to running city water. Income is limited too. I believe the husband of this family made about $100 a week driving a forklift. Something I've always noticed as a common thread on each trip, though, is the gratitude and thankfulness of each family for receiving their home. I think it was my second year going that a family said something like, "Can't believe that strangers would pay money to travel to another country, build a home for someone they don't know, and expect nothing in return." It's always a humbling experience to go and serve God in this way, to give to people, to be a light, to share a bit of love and friendship, and where we can, share words and conversation. So all in all, another great trip. Thanks for watching.